The hum of the refrigerator was the only sound in the kitchen, a low, steady drone that seemed to amplify the silence between us. It was a Tuesday. I remember that clearly. Tuesdays were taco nights, but the ingredients sat untouched on the counter, the ground beef slowly turning brown at the edges, the lettuce wilting under the harsh kitchen lights. I had been married to Mark for 12 years. 12 years of shared holidays, inside jokes, and the kind of comfortable silence that only comes from knowing someone inside and out, or so I thought. He stood leaning against the island, his knuckles white as he gripped the marble edge. He hadn't looked at me since he walked in, his gaze fixed on a spot somewhere over my left shoulder. I'd asked him a simple question, "Is everything okay?" It was the kind of question I'd asked 1,000 times before. Usually it was met with a sigh about work or a complaint about traffic. This time the silence stretched thin and brittle, until I thought it would snap. When he finally spoke, his voice was a stranger's. It was flat, devoid of the warmth I knew so well. "I need to tell you something," he said. My stomach twisted. Those are the words that precede an earthquake, the ones that signal the ground is about to split open beneath your feet. I braced myself. I thought maybe he'd lost his job, or wrecked the car, or maybe his mother was sick again. My mind raced through a dozen manageable disasters. I was not prepared for the truth. "It's about Jessica," he said. "Jessica, my best friend, my maid of honor, the godmother to our son, the woman who held my hand while I cried over my father's passing. The Jessica I'd just had coffee with yesterday, laughing about our terrible high school fashion choices. The name hung in the air, a toxic cloud. I just stared at him, my brain refusing to connect the dots. "What about Jessica?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. He finally met my eyes, and what I saw there made my blood run cold. It wasn't guilt, not really. It was a strange kind of relief. The look of a man unburdening himself, no matter the cost to the listener. "We've been seeing each other," he said. "It's for 6 months. 6 months." The words echoed in the suddenly cavernous kitchen. 6 months. That meant Christmas. That meant my birthday. That meant our anniversary trip to the coast. My mind flashed through the past half year, a highlight reel of my life. Now, re-edited, corrupted. Every happy memory now a scene of betrayal. I remembered Jessica complimenting the necklace he'd given me for our anniversary, her hand on my arm. "He has such good taste," she'd said, her smile so genuine, or so it had seemed. I remembered the late nights Mark said he was at the office, the calls he took in the other room. I had trusted him. I had trusted her. The naivety felt like a physical blow, knocking the wind out of me. I leaned back against the counter, the cold tile a stark contrast to the fire raging through my body. I didn't scream, I didn't cry. Not yet. I just felt a profound and terrifying numbness spread through my limbs. I looked at this man, this stranger wearing my husband's face, and I saw the last 12 years of my life crumble into dust. The future I had so carefully planned, the one with family vacations and grandkids and growing old together, vanished. In its place was a gaping black void. Why, the word was small, pathetic, but it was all I had. "Why, Mark?" He had the audacity to shrug, a small, helpless gesture that ignited a flicker of rage in the icy wasteland of my shock. "I don't know," he mumbled. "It just happened. It just happened, as if it were a rainstorm or a flat tire. It's an accident." Not a choice he made every day for 180 days. Choice to lie to my face, to sleep in our bed, to kiss our son goodnight, all while carrying this monumental deceit. I thought about our son Leo, sleeping soundly upstairs, blissfully unaware that his world was being systematically dismantled in the room below. The thought of his innocent face was what finally broke the dam. A single hot tear rolled down my cheek. It felt like acid. I looked at the uncooked taco meat, the vibrant red tomatoes, the bright green lettuce. The perfect picture of a happy family dinner. It was all a lie. The whole thing was a perfectly constructed, beautifully decorated lie. "Get out," I said. My voice was low, but it didn't tremble. It was packed with a certainty that surprised even me. He looked taken aback, as if he expected tears, arguments, a dramatic scene. Maybe he even wanted one. It would have made him feel less like the villain he was. "What?" he asked, blinking. "Get out of my house," I repeated, louder this time. The house we bought together, the home I had filled with love and laughter, was my house now. He had forfeited his right to it with his confession. He didn't argue, just nodded slowly, picked up his car keys from the counter, and walked out the door. He didn't look back. The door clicked shut, and the hum of the refrigerator was the only sound once again. But it wasn't a peaceful hum anymore. It was the sound of the aftermath, the low buzz of ruin. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, surrounded by the ghosts of our life together. The kitchen, once the heart of our home, was now a crime scene. The confession he'd made wasn't just a confession. It was a weapon, and it had destroyed everything. The journey from that moment has been the hardest of my life. Navigating the grief, the anger, the confusing labyrinth of divorce while trying to shield my son was a monumental task. There were days I didn't think I'd make it. But slowly, piece by piece, I began to rebuild. I learned that my strength was not tied to my relationship status. I discovered that a broken heart can heal, even if the scars remain. It's a long process, and it's not a straight line. If you're going through something similar, please know that you are not alone, and your feelings are valid. Reaching out for support, whether from friends, family, or a professional therapist, is a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. Your story doesn't end with the heartbreak. That's just the end of one chapter. You have the power to write the next one, and it can be more beautiful than you ever imagined. Thank you for listening to my story. Please subscribe for more, and remember to take care of yourselves.